I get asked a question over and over again, and that is, how did my kidneys fail? Currently my kidneys are on about 6%. I am on dialysis and pending a transplant list for a new kidney. But how did my kidneys fail in the first place? Well, it goes back to 2014 when I had heart failure. My heart wasn't working well at the time. Well, understatement. But I ended up in hospital, had a pacemaker in, and after that, for years and years and years, my blood pressure, when you have heart failure, heart problems, they like to keep your blood pressure very low. So when I mean very low as blood pressure, I mean in the 80s, like 90 over 50, 90 over 60. And they told me, they said, your kidneys suffer when your blood pressure is low, because when your blood pressure is low, your heart is not pumping a lot of blood, enough blood to the kidneys that it needs to work. So over time the kidney gets damaged, and that's one reason. I did go on to have a heart transplant 5 years ago, so the blood pressure now is very good. Mine is well over 130 over 80, something like that. After dialysis, it usually ends at in the 150s over 80, 155 over 80, something like that. It ends. It usually starts about 130 over. Well, last night blood pressure started at 120 over 70. So in an ideal world, that's perfect. But getting back to my kidneys, and in December 2022, I had it goes back to when I had a heart transplant. I went in, I was on the urgent list, and the doctor said to me then, he says, have you had trouble with your kidneys? Because my creatinine was well over 200. This is 2018. And basically they couldn't give me a heart transplant with my kidney in that kind of state, because they have to give strong immune suppressant medications at a port, and you need strong kidneys to be able to handle those drugs. So what happened was, at the time I said to the doctor, I said, what if my kidney won't improve but heart transplant? And that was a very, very scary question. I feared not getting the heart transplant, that would have been game over. And he said, well, we'll give you a new kidney as well at the same time from the same donor. So at that time I was blown away. In 2018 I was blown away. What happened though, I don't know if that would have been a good idea to get the kidney then, because now what's happened is I didn't get the kidney because my kidneys improved enough, not perfectly, for the heart transplant. They improved, but they knew they were delicate, they knew there was an issue. 4 years later, then my kidneys were getting worse and worse and worse. This is 2022, and at the end of 2022 they were confused. They wanted to know why. There's that reasons why my kidney was declining. What is the reason? And they couldn't tell without a biopsy. So December 22, I went for a biopsy. I took a bit of tissue. They analysed it and they diagnosed it. They said, you've got a lot of scarring here going back a long time. A long time. It's been going on. It's called FSGS. It's kind of a disease that causes scarring in the little capillaries, the little tunnels. There's millions of little capillaries in the kidneys. And don't ask me to pronounce FSGS. You can look in Google, FSGS kidney. It will tell you the full name, what it is. And but that's what it is. Basically, it's a damaging over time it just damages the cells, the kidney, scars it, and it over time it's not been it stops to work correctly. You know, it stops to filter the blood as it should, which is where we are today. And so now I'm on dialysis. I'm 8 months. 8 months been on dialysis, and I'm told I could be a long time on. I'm not told, I know. I've met a lot of dialysis patients now. I've heard lots of different stories, and I've come to the conclusion that I could get a transplant once I'm on the list within, you know, within 6 months to 10 years. Some people are having dialysis 10 years and they get a transplant. 11 years. I even heard someone was on it 15 years. You know? So I'm 47, 48 in November. So how many years will I be on dialysis until I get a kidney? You know, it could be another 10 years. But if it is, as long as I'm still here in the world, I'm still functioning, you know, it's not the end. It's definitely far from the end. The way I see it, there's a big future, you know. I'm getting on with life like normal now, and I'm not letting my my health dictate to me now. And yeah, I mean, the thought of kind of, it's like how I was at 36-year-old. I was nearly gone, and now I'm getting towards 50. The thought of being able to get to a chance to get to 60 and 70, you know, is just done. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. And this is what the kidney transplant can do. You know, but it's not guaranteed. I can get the kidney. When that call comes to get the kidney, there can also be problems with some people. It doesn't work correctly, and they need to go back on dialysis for years. So I will need such a fortune. The God's in my favour when the transplant comes, and I will always think I'll think positive at the time, as I always do, and I believe that helps. But basically, it's an unknown. It's an unknown, and a lot of people have problems. One of the big hurdles for people having transplant is the drugs, the strong drugs, immunosuppressants, Adaport, myphenolate, prednisone. The body doesn't take to them very well. And one advantage I've got, I'm already on those for 5 years. My body is, I'm on those to stop rejection from my donor heart. You know, I need them for, you know, to my life really. Without them, again, I need those medications, but it's one less hurdle when the kidney transplant comes around, and I just need to be patient at this point. I need to be patient and be okay on dialysis. And if it takes so many years, you know, so what? So what? If I get to 55, then I get a new kidney, I get a new lease of life, live life to the full, go travelling. Like I say, there's a new world. There's a new world beyond having a kidney transplant. For me, the travel and venture is magical, something I really, really miss. I'm not able to do at the minute, and I don't know when I'm able to get the green light to be able to book a flight and go travelling. But the step I need to do is to get the kidney. Things need to go right, and after the transplant there's 1 year's recovery as well. That's even before I can get on a plane. So as you can see, there's a lot of different hurdles to get over before I'm traveling again, but I'll get there. Just gonna be patient, remain positive, and keep doing dialysis. Whether I do home dialysis in the future, I do not know. It's getting to the point of starting asking, but I will need to move out, actually, a bigger place, because I've only got a small flat, and apparently they've got the means to get me, if I want to do home dialysis, get me a two bedroom place. And the thing is, I love where I live right now. I like where I live. It's small though, and what kind of property am I going to get referred? A 2-bedroom, what kind of area? This is the question, and all the hassle of moving if I do that. But I mean, that's a topic for another day. I'm just on a late September walk in the sun. It's beautiful weather today. It's been rare this month, but yeah, I hope you're doing okay. And any questions, leave them in the comments, and subscribe to be part of this transplant journey. It could be a long one. Well, it will be forever anyway. After transplant, you've got after service, aftercare. So yeah, subscribe to join this journey and find out what happens and how it goes. Okay, and all right, take it easy. Check out our other videos. We've got 500 videos on our channel if you want to see them, and a playlist for the kidney transplant journey. It goes back 25 videos or so. Okay, peace.